What's going on, YouTube? Thanks for riding with me this morning. I'm just on my way to work, about 8 o'clock in the morning, maybe 10 past. Lovely weather outside today. Glorious. It was like 20 degrees yesterday and we're hoping to get 21, 22 today, so really happy with that. Get out on the bike. So for today's episode, I'd like to go back to a topic I touched on in my first video, which was why I bought the Harley Davidson V Rod. Obviously my mic and audio's a lot clearer now, so I thought I'd revisit that. I've got a few more subscribers and a few more views, so why not? So the reason I went for a Harley Davidson V Rod was A, because I love the look of them, and B, I found out I could afford one. I've always been a cruiser guy. I've always wanted a cruiser ever since I was like small. Watched Arnold in Terminator 2 on his Fat Boy, you know, going to bike night at Old Town in Florida, Santa Pod, places like that. You know, I've always liked the cruiser, and the loud pipes have always attracted me, and the Harley Davidson is the brand if you're going to go for a cruiser. Maybe it is a little bit old school and whatever, but you know, I bought the V Rod, which is it's a different breed of Harley Davidson. It's not your traditional, you know, vibration machine. But again, that vibration machine is what attracted me to Harley Davidsons. I absolutely loved it, and I still do. You know, I see these big hogs, you know, the big diners, the breakouts, you know, even the older motors, the Evo motors and things like that, they just, you know, rattle themselves a bit. I think that's awesome. So yeah, that's pretty much why I wanted one. The sound, I guess you could say the theatricality of them, like, you know, the loud, the brash, I guess that's me. Plus I worked in a hospital in my previous career. I worked in a hospital for like 10 years, going on 11 years, and some of the accidents I seen there were just awful. You know, some of the people I'd seen coming through the A&E, it just wasn't for me. Now, I'm not saying you don't get that on a V Rod or a Harley Davidson or any bike in that matter. Sorry, in that instance, you know, you can come off a scooter not wearing your kit and be dead, literally die. So I'm not saying that buying a Harley Davidson was a safe bet, because it isn't. I'm just saying it's a little more refined. I'm not new to riding. I've always had motocross bikes, enduro bikes growing up, so I've always been on and around bikes. However, road bikes, yes, I am new to. Obviously I've been driving a car for over 10 years now, 12 years or whatever, so I'm no stranger to motorways and the roads themselves and being out in the public. But I'm about a year into my riding on road, so I am pretty new. That being said, I did go out and buy a V Rod. Now, some people said you don't want to be doing that, you want to be starting out on an 883, which I think is a nice segue into a question that I've been asked lately by one of my pals as to what bike I should buy. Now, that's all relative. I think if, like me, you've had road experience, whether it be in a car or on a smaller bike, then I think the beginner's bike doesn't fit everyone. That there's not the perfect beginner's bike. Yeah, I don't think there is a perfect beginner's bike. I think what you've got to look at is the experience of the rider, the competency of the rider, and how self-aware they are. For instance, myself, like I said, I have got a little bit of history riding bikes, so I'm no, you know, I'm not a newbie to changing and shifting gears and whatever. My head is on a swivel. Obviously I did do motocross for many years, so it is quite a dangerous sport or hobby, however you want to look at it. So for me, going onto an 883 or something else that I was originally looking at, just A, it didn't feel right, and B, I think I would have got bored of it pretty quickly. So I think, you know, it wasn't a bike to buy and keep for life, or at least for a long time. With that being said, also my physical build, I'm like 6 foot and about 18.5 stone. That's like my walking around weight. So I'm not like a small guy, so I probably wouldn't look right on an 883 or a Sportster or whatever. Well, I have sat on them and I've looked, and it just doesn't flow with me sat on it. I'm much more suited to like a V Rod or a Breakout or like a Dyna. So again, the littler bikes that I was getting told to buy were just not not for me. So, you know, if there's anyone out there who are wanting to get into motorbikes and, you know, they're taking lessons and they're looking to buy a motorcycle, in particularly a cruiser, just bear in mind that you need to sit on these things, you need to check them out and, you know, ultimately have a test ride if you're able. One of the biggest things I think as well for a beginner is that right hand. Yeah, the right hand is what makes you go, you know, go fast or slow down, obviously. I'm not teaching you how to suck eggs here, but if you're self-aware and you understand your own skills and what you're capable of, that's all that matters. I'm not saying people should rush out and buy an R1 or a H2R, far from it, but I'm starting my road riding life on a V Rod, which is no slouch. I mean, I know it's not a sports bike, but I could get myself into a lot of trouble with it. You know, it is over 100 brake horsepower. You know, it does rev to 9,000 RPM, and it does accelerate in an awfully quick time. And not the easiest bike to control. I've obviously got forwards, it's raked out. So again, you know, sit on them, test drive them, and be your own judge. But for God's sake, don't try and ride above your limits. Like now, you know, I could be overtaking this tipper and cutting in and turning left at my exit to get off, you know, get to the off ramp to my work. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to sit back and relax. And, you know, when there's no traffic and there's no one around, that's when I learn the bike. That's when I can understand how fast I can go, how fast I can take it. So just bear that in mind when you're coming to buy a bike. Before I bought the V Rod, I was looking for the Yamaha Dragster. I think it's the XVS model on the other side of the pond. So it was like the XVS 600 or the XVS 1100. Obviously, after looking at them, I pitched to get my dream bike. I didn't want to buy something that I would regret buying in a year's time, or I'd grow out of and I'd have had to put it up for sale and then start looking for the V Rod. Plus, this one came along, which is an absolute. I mean, you've seen it. It's, you know, it's a perfect condition bike for me. It's exactly what I wanted. It's my dream bike. So why not? You live once. So yeah, just be mindful. If you're an absolute beginner, then yes, start on a smaller CC bike. There's that forgiveness there that you don't get in a sports bike, or to some level this bike. But if you have got a little bit of experience under your belt, then why not? Why not go for something else? But again, you've got to be sensible in the head. You know, you've had to have grown up. You've got to be alert. You've got to be aware of yourself, your skills, and the dangers around you. It's all right being you being self-aware, but you've got to be thinking 3, 4, 5 cars ahead. Are they turning left? Are they turning right? Are they jamming the brakes on? Is there anyone at that set of lights there that are ready to come round? Has anyone jumped the light? You know, these sorts of things, and you only get that from either riding in a car, driving a car, or riding on a bike. You need that knowledge on the road. You need that muscle memory in, something that I have in a car and I'm working on my bike. But yeah, I mean, that was it really. So I'm at work now, so I hope you enjoyed today's vlog. I hope it was informative, and if you've got any questions about what we've spoken around, you know, drop a comment in the comment box below, and I'll try and answer it in the next video. But as always, make sure to subscribe if you like the content and you want to see more videos from me. Give me the thumbs up and subscribe to my Instagram channel @TheScottRod. And until next time, ride safe, guys, and I'll catch you later.